June and Jennifer Gibbons were identical twins. They were born in Barbados in April 1963. Their family, part of the Windrush generation, moved to Wales. They settled in a town called Haverfordwest. Here, the Gibbons family were one of very few black families. The girls soon faced prejudice from their schoolmates. This difficult experience made them feel very isolated. They started to withdraw from the world around them. Their bond was incredibly unique and intense. They were more than just sisters, more than just twins. They mirrored each other's movements perfectly. They often dressed alike and walked in step. It was as if they existed in a private world, a world that only the two of them could enter. They began to refuse to speak to almost anyone else. This elective mutism became their defining feature. They soon became known as the Silent Twins. Their silence was a powerful shield against a confusing world. Their silence was a deep puzzle for everyone. At school, teachers tried hard to encourage them to speak. Therapists and specialists were brought in to help, but June and Jennifer remained stubbornly silent with outsiders. For a short time they would speak to their younger sister Rose. However, this communication also eventually stopped. Soon they would only speak to each other. Their shared silence became an unbreakable pact between them. This silence was not a sign of inability. It was a deliberate choice they made together. It was their way of controlling their environment. It was a shield to protect themselves from hurt. Their bond was extraordinarily powerful, almost symbiotic. It was so strong that it excluded everyone else. Even their parents and siblings felt shut out. They could not penetrate the invisible wall the twins had built. Their shared world was impenetrable. Although silent to the outside world, June and Jennifer communicated. They spoke to each other very fluently. They used a special rapid-fire dialect. It was a mix of English and Barbadian slang. They spoke so quickly that others could not understand them. This private language kept their thoughts and feelings secret. It made their unique connection even stronger. They lived almost entirely inside this shared, secret bubble. They were content in their world of two. Their greatest passion was writing. They poured their thoughts and feelings onto paper. They wrote many stories, poems, and even full novels. They also kept incredibly detailed diaries for many years. Writing became their main escape from their isolation. It was the primary way they expressed their complex emotions. Their creativity was truly remarkable for young women so cut off. They filled thousands of pages with their imaginative works. The themes in their writing were often quite dark. Their stories explored intense love and bitter hate. Crime, desire, and betrayal were common subjects. The characters in their novels often felt trapped. They struggled with their identities and relationships. These fictional worlds clearly reflected the twins' own inner turmoil. Their books provided a window into their complicated minds. They revealed the pressures of their inseparable bond. June and Jennifer dreamed of becoming famous authors. They truly believed in their literary talents. They carefully typed their manuscripts. Then they sent their books to publishing houses. They longed for recognition and success from the outside world. However, their profound social withdrawal made this very difficult. Their unique talent remained largely hidden from public view. Their deep isolation became a significant barrier to their ambitions. It kept their voices on paper, mostly unheard. The intense bond between June and Jennifer had a darker side. Their relationship was incredibly complex and often stormy. It was not always filled with love and support. They could fight fiercely, both physically and emotionally. There was a strong undercurrent of jealousy and resentment. Their connection was a strange and troubling mixture. Deep love and intense hatred were constantly intertwined. This duality was a central, tragic part of their lives. A disturbing idea began to form in their minds. They started to believe that one twin was holding the other back. They felt that one of them had to depart. This was so the other could truly be free and live a full life. This dark thought grew stronger over the years. It became a terrible, unspoken agreement between them. It was a desperate wish for individual identity, a way to escape their suffocating closeness. Jennifer once expressed this chilling sentiment very clearly. She wrote in her diary about their struggle. She described them as fatal enemies in each other's eyes. She questioned if she could ever get rid of her own shadow. She identified her shadow with June, her morbid friend. She wondered if, without her shadow, she would gain life or be left to die. These words showed the depth of their painful internal conflict. Their bond was both a comfort and a curse. Their unusual behavior and some minor crimes led them to Broadmoor. Broadmoor was a high-security psychiatric hospital in England. They spent over a decade confined there. Their strange, powerful bond continued even within those walls. The idea of their pact seemed to solidify during this time. They felt utterly trapped, not just by the hospital, but by each other. True freedom seemed impossible as long as both of them were alive. This belief shaped their desolate reality. The day finally came for the twins to leave Broadmoor. They were being transferred to a more open clinic. It was March 9th, 1993. On the journey, Jennifer suddenly became very ill. She seemed to collapse and lost consciousness. She was rushed to a hospital but died later that day. Her death was a profound shock to everyone involved. Jennifer Gibbons was only 29 years old. Her life ended just as a new chapter was supposed to begin. Jennifer's death was shrouded in mystery. Doctors conducted an autopsy to find the cause. They could not find any drugs or poison in her system. The official cause of death was acute myocarditis. This is a sudden inflammation of the heart muscle. Yet just before leaving Broadmoor, Jennifer had told me something startling. She had calmly stated, "I'm going to die. We've decided." It seemed their dark pact had, in some inexplicable way, been fulfilled. After Jennifer's death, a remarkable change occurred in June. The surviving twin began to speak to people. She started to communicate with the staff at the new clinic. She seemed more relaxed and much more open than ever before. It was as if an immense burden had been lifted from her. She slowly began to build a life for herself, a life independent of her twin. She was finally free from their all-consuming bond. The story of June and Jennifer Gibbons is deeply sad. It is also profoundly mysterious and unsettling. Their lives raise many difficult questions about identity. It makes us think about codependency and the power of human connection. Their bond was both creative and destructive. The unique circumstances of their lives, their silence, their writings, and Jennifer's timely death continue to puzzle and fascinate people. Their haunting tale is truly unforgettable.